Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing Stampin' Up! Products. I share projects weekly on my website, YouTube, and Facebook. I sell the products used in the projects, as well as a few additional products to help crafters stay organized. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. You'll see where to find that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. Just grab a cup or a glass, it's time to sip together. This project could be made just like this with a beautiful front on it, but the glory of this card is on the inside because you will open it up and it has this wiper card, so it's got some motion. It uses Tropical Chic and the Tropical Thinlits, which you can get as a bundle. And my cardstock, I've got a lot of pieces for this card. This is a typical card base with Mossy Meadow, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. A layer of Melon Mambo that is 5 1/4 by 4. Then I have a layer of Whisper White that is 5 by 3 3/4. I have a piece of Mossy Meadow that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I have a piece of soft seafoam that's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. This piece of Mossy Meadow is 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. I have a piece of Melon Mambo that is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. I have a piece of Whisper White that's 2 by 4. And then I have some mechanism pieces. This piece started out at 1 by 4. This piece is 1 by 3 1/2. This piece started out by 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And I have a piece of Mossy Meadow that's 1 3/4 by 3. And I have a piece of Whisper White that I will be putting on the inside. It's 5 1/4 by 4. And another piece of 5 1/4 by 4 for all the pieces that I'll be stamping and cutting out. I saw a card by Elizabeth Rush that uses this mechanism. She said that she had seen it several different places, and so I'm not sure who to really credit it to, but it is a wonderful idea. So if it's you, you did fantastic. Thank you. So I'm going to start off by just adhering the Melon Mambo piece to the Mossy Meadow. And you can use whatever adhesive you like for this. I guess while we're at it, we'll go ahead and adhere this Melon Mambo piece to the Mossy Meadow. It's just a bit larger. Then on this Whisper White, it's a little bit smaller than the Melon Mambo. We're going to go all tropical with the Mango Melody ink. And we're just going to go across the top here. And I might as well go use that same stamp on the inside piece. While I've got that Mango Melody out, I think I'll stamp my flower, inking it up, and then using a sponge dauber with some Melon Mambo to sponge around the outside of that flower, just on the edge. I will need 2 of these flowers. I don't want to get Melon Mambo in my Mango Melody, so I'm at least stamping off a little bit. And doing it again. Just love these colors together. We're going to be die cutting these, so leave, maybe a 1/2 inch around the flowers. I'm calling this the Lacy Leaf. I think it's really a palm frond. We're going to stamp this twice on this same cardstock. Again, leaving space around. And then with the same Lacy Leaf, we're going to stamp this 2 times on the Whisper White. It's likely to go off the side. That's okay. We're going to stamp this big leaf right over those Mossy Meadow leaves there. And on one of these leaves, and I'm making it kind of be up in a smile, you are the greatest. And just to be different, I'm going to go in the opposite direction for the thank you. And then this palm frond, we're going to stamp on this piece to cut out, and we're going to stamp that again on this one. And I am going to show you what I do to Chic, because I didn't hold the stamp here long enough, and so I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the ink from the stamp, and I'm going to lightly touch this with this, using the blender pen to just kind of fill in those parts that I didn't stamp very well. If you're one of those people that doesn't like naked envelopes, I'm going to stamp that leaf on the envelope as well. And then I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. I'm going to use this piece to cut out the mossy meadow. And while I'm at it, I might as well start cutting out some of these. And just to be sure they don't move around on me, I'm going to use a sticky note tab. I want to be sure this is centered on that piece. And this pretty much pops right out. So pretty. And this piece cuts out this mossy meadow. Just to make sure I didn't lose you, I've cut out that square piece. I've cut out 2 leaves. I've cut out this lacy leaf, this palm, and 2 flowers. So next I'm just going to put the soft seafoam behind the mossy meadow. I'm using the mini Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm putting them in all 4 corners and a couple of places on the leaves, and just centering that there. Adhering this piece to the front of the card over the Melon Mambo. And this is adhesive of your choice. I'm going with the multi-purpose liquid glue. I don't often say it, but I always keep this upside down, tipped down, in maybe a candle jar or a desk organizer. And that keeps the glue up at the tip of the pen where I want to use it. And then I'm going to put this piece on the card front. And this is going right in the middle here. And this one I'm going to be covering up, so I don't care where the adhesive goes really. This is going to go off this way. And then you are the greatest over that. And then one of the flowers with dimensionals up here in the corner. And again, that would be a beautiful card front all by itself, especially when we add this layer with the side border. And then we can add this piece. And the other flower will go on that. And again, this would be beautiful, like that. But we need to work on our mechanism. So we will pull in our mechanism pieces. So out of that 1.5 inch square, I've cut out a 3/4 inch square from the corner. From the 1 by 3.5, I've scored it at 1, 2, and 3 inches. That's easy. This piece is a little bit more complicated. This started out at 1 by 4, and I've scored it at 3/4, 2 3/4, and 3 1/2. Go back to the 1 3/4 and score it just halfway, just a 1/2 inch. And then put a little pencil mark at 2 inches. We need to make one more mark on this score line. We're going to mark it at 3/4 of an inch. So we're just cutting a 1/2 inch up to that 1/2 inch score line. Make sure that this 2 inch mark is still here so that you're not cutting off the wrong part. Putting a little mark at 3/4 of an inch, and then we're going to score. And to score, I'm just swapping out my multi-purpose blades, and I'm going to go to the smaller tip, and this becomes my scoring tool, and I'm just scoring from this mark to the top of that score line, and from this pencil mark to our 3/4 inch pencil mark. So that makes a V. Then we're going to just pinch those and fold that V like so. And we're going to score this. Then we're going to crease this and this. So this becomes like a little box. And this is like a little box. And we want to make one last mark on here where we want to start our mechanism. And so this is about 2 1/2 inches right on the crease. So now we're going to put adhesive right next to the fold on this 1 inch score line. And some more adhesive at the end, and some adhesive at this score line, right at the score line. And I think I want some adhesive on the end too, so I'm going to take off that strip. So we have adhesive on both of the ends. We're going to turn this and put it on the left side of the crease, right at that 2 1/2 inch mark. So it's right there at the crease. See how that's working? And then we're going to fold that in half and just close the card, and that makes that little box. Then we're doing the same with this piece. So I'm going to take off the adhesive on the skinny end, and this piece is going to go under the box piece. And then we're going to fold this. And the only tricky thing about this is we do not want it to go, we don't want to be under that box piece. We want to have that box sandwiched between. See how that's working? And once you get it there, then you can just close it. And our mechanism is ready to go. Then we're going to put adhesive on this half of the triangle. And you don't want it to go beyond to stick the card together, but we're going to just kind of set this here like so, and we're going to let that dry for a bit. And while that's drying, we're going to put this piece on. So you can use adhesive of your choice here. This whole piece is held on by that one square. So we want to have this kind of centered on the card, right up against the side of the card. So our mechanism works behind that there. This long leaf is going to go on the bottom part of that L. So I'm going to just tear off a piece of tear and tape. I should have put this on before I put this. Okay, so this tear and tape is going to go along the bottom when it's fully opened. And we want to cover that up with our leaf. We want to have that leaf showing when it's open, but I have just discovered that I've got adhesive, so I'm going to dust that with my embossing buddy so that that will no longer be sticky. And then this leaf is going to cover up this part of our mechanism. So we'll just put a little bit of green glue there. So that that part of our mechanism, so our mechanism is all covered up. So after I made this card, I realized it didn't really have any place to write, so that's why I put this whole white layer in. You still see a little bit of that border. You do want to make sure and check that all the mechanism doesn't catch anywhere. I had the leaf that was actually over the V part, so that all works fine just now. A very fancy fold, a lot of pieces that need to work together, but I think this makes a spectacular card, so I think it's worthwhile. Here's the web address for this project where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Home near the top of my page and you'll find lots of resources. Under Shop, I have tips for online shopping, frequent shopper rewards, and products I offer to help you stay organized. Share my Evernote notebook for a nominal contribution. It functions as a fully searchable catalog. I offer a cardstock sampler, taggers to help you identify those dies with lots of similar shapes, heavy-duty bags to store 12 by 12 and 6 by 6 paper, and a bow maker. Inspiration takes you to all my projects. If you're new to stamping, you might want to look at the basics. You'll find how to cut card bases and layers, what's special about Stampin' Up! Stamps, and some of my favorite tools. Under Organization, you'll find catalog tabs, labels, and case inserts, a practically free stamp pad storage solution, a basic toolkit, color charts by alphabet, color family, and rainbow order, products by color, and RGB codes, and you can take a tour of my craft wall. More organization means more time for crafting. Come stamp with me here in Ventura County, California, or get the best deal of all and join my team of crafters. The team is called SIP Together, and it stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper Together. The team is made of crafters who want to save money on the products they buy, share with a few friends, or to grow a business like mine. Be sure to subscribe to my website and on YouTube. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye.